So I got to a point where I was like, I am not doing myself any favors. Whoever has an issue with me doing what I do, I mean, I'm more than happy for them to come to me and ask me why I do what I do, but I don't owe them an explanation.
Goals start with dreams, big or small. That cherished aspiration, ambition, or ideal. We all have them. The strong desire to know what more we can become in one lifetime is what pushes us to start, to grow, to reinvent ourselves. And while at it, there's mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual wins, sometimes losses, that challenge our journeys to being what we dream of. Wazo Dazo presents Being.
Does longevity mean anything to me? I mean, yeah. I personally find longevity not to be as much work as it is a blessing. Because there are guys who work on their music even after a long time, and they work hard and they try to do really good things, and it jams. It refuses, man. I've seen good things refuse. I've seen good things of my own refuse. Like, I've seen it. So I think it's a blessing. Like, even though I saw this, I've been doing this for... Few people have the track record of staying as good as I have stayed, doing this as long as I have done it. It's also a thing to tell you that, there's no time limit on these things, but you have to acknowledge a source. It helps to acknowledge a source. That source will continue to renew you. But also, man, I have seen, you can have the biggest song and disappear. Those things, they keep me in a place where I'm like, this is a gift. Not everyone gets to do this. That's what longevity means to me. If there's one thing I've had to stop running away from and face it, it's the fact that I was meant to do this music on an international, global, secular and Christian, on that scale. Like, everything led up to that. I went through too much. And I looked back and I was like, the more I tried to box myself in, it's like the more I gave the enemy an opportunity to beat me to dust. Because the enemy was going to come after me whether I played safe or not. It's just, that's my life. That's my life. People see things or they hear things about me. And for me, I don't look at them the way they look at them. Me, I look at that as an invisible force that is scared to death of me. So I got to a point where I was like, I am not doing myself any favors. Whoever has an issue with me doing what I do, I mean, I'm more than happy for them to come to me and ask me why I do what I do, but I don't owe them an explanation. So I'm going to take it as far as I have to. So I stopped running from that. Because I got tired of being beaten in the back. I was running from it and I was still getting hit. When I stopped and turned around, I was like, this thing that's trying to hit me is only hitting me because I'm running. If I ever turned around and faced it, different. Finished. The values that are non-negotiable for me are family and responsibility to others, even if it's not in the sense they may understand. Whatever they may think, for me, my waking moments, when I'm about to go to the things that I do, why I do, it's family. It's non-negotiable. And the people who are there for me, I do my best to be there for them as best I can, because I've been in a place where I could count on a hand the people who are there for me, as opposed to those who are not. I'll put it this way. I learned a long time ago that people make funny music, sometimes very devastating, dangerous music, because they say music is where we make music because it tells us where we are. I'm like, music is not reflective like that. Music reflects on both sides. I should be able to tell you where you are and where you should be. That's a responsibility for me. I have never, as in I cannot be like, Uganda is a third world country. Never, I can never put that in a song. Monaco is so much smaller than Uganda. Their level of authority and resources through the roof. So what excuse do we have? Me, that's the where my music always points to where we should be. It might touch on where we are, but never will it leave out where we should be. The most important decision I've had to make was giving my life to Christ, because it gave me a purpose. It gave me a end goal that was enjoyable, you know. And for me, it's funny. I got born again, and I count getting born again and giving my life to Christ as two different. Because I got born again, and then I just wandered through life. First thing that happened was I started making mistakes again, so I thought I must not be born again. I must be a sinner, it was just a lot of depression coming from that, because you would have saved yourself if you could do that. Like, there has to be a part of it where your weakness is perfected in His strength, like where you're able to do, at your worst, you do things that move the world because it's not you. So things like when I got to a point where I started actively living my life, knowing that I'm part of a higher power. It's like the way someone can be very stupid, but if they're part of a certain cartel, you can't touch them. You understand? No matter how useless you think they are, if they're connected to a certain someone or a certain group of people, the minute you come near them, it's over for you. Have God. Like, getting to that realization has done that was life-changing for me, especially more in the last few years. Like, it's not me, you're not dealing with me. I'm not the one you're really dealing with. What I'm bringing to the world that wasn't here before, for me personally, is an Africa that makes Wakanda, whatever they talk about, look like villager. I'm not moved by that. I'm not. Because I feel like in real life we can do so much better. And two, it still feels like someone else is telling that story. They're telling it about us. What I bring to the world, I want to bring to the world a level of musical excellence, and as a result, musical glory that has never been seen, because I believe that that can happen if I link up with the right people. What I do to make myself happy and move forward every day is I laugh, I celebrate myself. I enjoy life. I just enjoy life. I haven't had a license to live. I know what it's like to remove your own license to enjoy life just because you feel like that's what God has. You know, sometimes they make it look like, established modern church makes it look like you were born again to suffer. Can't do anything. And usually a lot of people who try to do that, they're the first guys to run to all the enjoyable things that may not even be good for them. Because if you cage someone who's supposed to be free, and they have the key in their pocket, what do you expect them to do? Like, yeah, I enjoy life. One of the things that has gotten me through a lot of things recently is I will celebrate for no reason. I will just imagine what I wanted, and I will just go around laughing and celebrating and just deciding that. And I look like a mad person, but me personally, I know the results that it gives me. So I'll be mad, but I'll be mad happy. Is there something I'm still trying to prove to myself? There's definitely something I'm proving to myself, and that is that I am the biggest. Because I'm telling myself that, but it has to be seen. These things of, I am the best, and that conversation is only had by you until you die. Something's off there. If I'm the best, everyone must know. So the things that I'm doing, I stop and I ask myself, so have I covered more ground today? Are 10 more people aware of my name and that I'm the baddest? 100 more people aware? Then we are going somewhere. Because if you're the only one who knows, anyone can do that. The mindset shift and realization I made too late. Okay, not too late, but I made later than I should have. Is God expects you to have money. I made that realization when I stopped and I just looked at how life was treating me. When I was in a place where I knew I could have made money, but I was limiting it by doing certain things. And my thing was, because I'm a church boy, and there are things you shouldn't do as a church boy because I'm in music. When I made that shift and I realized God gives you the tools to be exorbitantly rich and even tells you, I am the God who gives you power to get wealth. The blessings of God maketh rich and add no sorrow. I made peace with the fact that me and the church are not always going to speak the same language even when we are quoting from the same book. I made peace with that because there are parts of that Bible that I quote to myself and I have results. And yet those results are either not being talked about or someone is almost speaking the exact opposite. Be humble. And if I'm the head and not the tail, it should be okay for me to say it. Jay-Z can say he's the baddest and everyone repeats his lines. But because I'm a church boy, I can't say it because I'm not glorifying God. All glory should go to him. Whichever God Jay-Z serves is being glorified because Jay-Z is the best. Whichever God Bill Gates serves is being glorified because Bill Gates has been known as the richest even when he's not. His name is synonymous with money and he can say it. If you're the best, you have the right to say it. But I feel like you don't have the right to say anything if you don't have money. So that mindset shift happened late because where we would be now. But also maybe it happened in time because there are some things maybe I needed to go through to understand because you can never get me back to the place where I apologize for coming for everything I'm coming for and collecting it, including the money. You can never get me back. I've seen what it's like to refuse to take the money. Yeah, yes. Too many artists in Christ in Uganda are struggling. And Christ is abundant. And there's a lot of money in the church. A lot. But it's not for them. But let me tell you, they will look at a minister somewhere on the other side of the world and they'll pay every expense to bring them. They'll find that money. But you're not important enough.
Wazo Dazo presents